Today on Death Battle we have Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Is it Simon or Simon? I don't know, either one, but I really don't know much about these characters. I know Simon the Digger is from something, and Kyle is a White Lantern. I don't know much of the White Lanterns, besides they're extremely powerful. Are they the strongest Lanterns, or is another one stronger than them? I really don't know, and when it comes to Simon, I'm going to figure out how strong he is during this thing, because I don't know much about him or where it even comes from. But the thing about Death Battle is they'll introduce a character like this, and they'll basically give us, they will tell us exactly like what they are. So we're going to get into it. Link to the original video and channel will be in the description down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I guess I'll pick who's going to win once I hear all the stats. Let's get into it. Got the preview right here.
Simon the Digger.
Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
Okay.
His ways and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid
Is this a
cave.
Simon right now?
That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simon.
Okay.
He was there too, I guess.
Simon was
so he's the little
digger,
brother.
content to drill endless
21, 6. Wait, whose stats are these? 21, 6'2". Damn. Occupation, Digger, Supreme Commander. Okay. A pilot, a hermit. Okay.
through the dirt until the day he found the core
Like smoke
drill.
stakes.
The key that activates
like
the
paperwork and
mysterious
authority.
buried mech that Kamina
The anti-spiral.
named Lagan. Under
That's
his
where the anti-spiral comes from?
magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel
The heck are
chimeric
those things?
beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for
This thing's like
humanity,
nasty.
scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan.
With
Gurren
Kamina
Lagann.
piloting the body and Simon the head, these two were unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history,
I don't think I've ever watched a mech anime
coolest,
before.
fueled by its pilot's willpower and capable of making
It's
any
12
weapon
feet,
they
runs
can
on,
imagine.
runs on willpower. Okay. Has drills, missiles, and energy blasts.
Putting missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang.
So this is the
and of
thing the
course,
White Lanterns got to be
Drills,
facing. Okay.
Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku.
The Giga Drill.
Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
With Gurren Lagan's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina died.
Oh, rest in
wait,
peace.
Shit, was that supposed to happen?
Nope, and it was all Simon's fault.
Oh,
He
damn.
let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price.
Ooh, that's-
After
that's-
all,
ooh.
he was just a humble digger,
Aw,
at
damn,
home
rest
in
in
the
peace.
darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simon who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina
Bro, it's so sad anytime a character dies, bro. It's so sad. I didn't even know anything about him yet. It's still so emotional.
was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simon who found Lagan, Simon who pierced the surface,
Oh.
and Simon who would now lead humanity to
So
victory.
he was the real one doing
Especially with
everything.
his gal pal Nia
Yeah, the
at
guy's
his
just a
side,
fraud.
Who helped
Okay.
pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass.
Kaido?
But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann Simon runs on fighting spirit?
No.
Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that
Oh,
all
okay.
spiral beings, like humans, have.
So the
That's
willpower
right,
is really
the laws
nothing.
of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity. The
Okay.
perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simon would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral
How
power
crazy
lets
we
you constantly
talking?
adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming.
Also, what the heck? That's
Simon
like a
can
big
create
turd
portals to
with
different
heads.
realities and higher dimensions.
Spiral power, exponential adaptation, self-repair, force fields, energy absorption, reality warping. Ooh, okay.
He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and
City
even
size.
merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and
Inconceivably
time
big.
with
That's
a
saying
punch.
super spiral
Or the
space.
Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions.
So it can hit
within
all that?
a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
That's a lot of numbers.
Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes.
Wow, okay.
You literally cannot calculate.
Yeah,
how
White
fast
Lantern
that
got some
is.
competition.
But it wasn't enough to escape
think.
the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth, an attack that imprisons Simon in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number
So you're telling me bro went from like a digger to this?
of
Damn.
alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simon and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simon
get it?
absorbed that
Because
whole
the
multiverse
digger
to
too is like a
escape.
What
spiral.
makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simon absorbed a higher dimensional structure
Damn,
several
they all
orders
got
of
Thanos
infinity
snaps.
greater than himself. The
Actually,
jump
never mind, they
between
got
dimensions
absorbed into
is
something.
basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself.
became 3D?
Including an alternate universe Simon, who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if
a
every
lot's
human
going
being
on.
has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa
God
Gurren.
damn, bro.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Bro, what is all this, bro? This is too damn
Simon's power
powerful.
was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simon turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
So all I'm
Even
hearing is
this was
spiral
not enough
power
for the
is just that
anti-spiral.
crazy.
Simon evolved one more time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren
So this thing had like
This mech
Like
is
7
so big,
evolutions.
its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simon and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe.
And-
the
oh
indomitable
my
human
goodness.
spirit.
Proving Kamina's words prophetic, that Simon's drill is the drill that would
became the Simon that believed in him, pulled the moon back into orbit, struck all of space, time at once, absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, withstood the infinite Big Bang storm.
pierce the heavens.
Hey, this is crazy,
With
bro.
no more worlds left to conquer, Simon chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in the sky
Like,
are
what the
stars,
heck?
and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
The universe is a dangerous place.
Eye on to
Should
the
you
lanterns.
find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force
Don't they go off
founded
willpower, right?
billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know
Boo!
him.
Hal
You love
Jordan,
him.
boo!
You might hate him, but you gotta respect
Boo,
the man
Hal
with
Jordan,
a will as
boo.
unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his
Damn.
hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone
Damn,
in
how
his
many
path,
lantern rings do
and
you got?
absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming
Ooh.
the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
Okay.
So was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower?
Age 30, height 5'11". Damn, bro. Simon got you beat in that category. Comic artist, Green Lantern, like Superman, Asian movies. Dislikes Jaws, love triangles. Okay.
Or like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient fox can master it, what's
Wait,
your
what the
excuse,
heck?
Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do
go back.
And a sentient
You said
fox, you're
how,
out on
how
your
many
own.
master the
Hey, if Colonel Sanders,
Colonel
Daffy
Sanders,
Duck,
Daffy
Space Wheat,
Duck,
and a sentient
a weed,
fox
and
can
a
master
box.
it,
Wow,
what's your
okay.
excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible
Yeah, the
and
ring is kinda
intangible,
busted.
manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a
Yeah, the
billion
Lantern rings are
billion
busted, bro.
times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a speed force
And their only weakness is
singularity.
their
Tapping
mind.
into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space,
Or their imagination.
requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically
Oh,
protecting
yeah, I
its
think I
user
heard about
from
that
danger.
before.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the Crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
Yeah,
While
okay.
Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched. Probably because he's a comic book artist.
That makes sense.
We know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's
Yeah.
speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that
Bro, I would love to have a Green Lantern ring, bro. I like just be able to create anything. I think actually Yeah, cause that power it's very similar to Adam Eve's power, so never mind, scratch that. I'll take Adam Eve's power actually instead of that one.
one
But
looks
they're both
familiar.
really good
Kyle
powers.
can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So
really?
it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind. That's the
sweet.
stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Oh,
Kyle
damn.
wasn't the only one traumatized. This moment was so infamous,
Yeah, you
it
gotta
started
get
the
back on
trope
that one.
called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Damn.
Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off
Let's
against
go,
Hal,
Kyle.
and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
Let's
But
go,
little
Kyle.
did we know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There
Oh,
are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The
Yeah.
yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst
Yep.
horrors in
Isn't
your
red,
mind.
like, anger,
the more scared
orange,
you are
greed?
of him, the stronger he becomes.
something. One of them
Light
is
is
hope,
fueled by
right?
Bottomless
Or something?
avarice.
Oh, it says right here. Red Lantern. Oh, wait, no, that's not what it is. There's the White Lantern. Wait, what did these lanterns do? Red Lantern, Rage, Blood Absorption, Blue Lantern, Healing, Possession, Sapphire Lantern, Mind Control, and Crystal. Indigo Lantern, Portals. Okay, Orange Lantern, Soul Manipulation, Energy Siphoning. Yellow Lantern, Fear, Manipulation. Okay. Fear Empowerment, a White Lantern, Control over Life, Resurrection, Clairvoyance, and Astral Communication. Damn.
Possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks,
These Lantern
but
rings are
also
crazy
their
strong.
souls.
Red is rage, ripping out
Okay, yeah,
Kyle's
rage.
heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope.
Okay,
It
I was
allows
right,
Kyle
hope.
to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space,
Okay.
connecting him to others.
The final one was the Sapphire Light of Love. With it, he
Okay.
can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern.
Damn,
with
okay.
total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death
Hey, the White
battle
Lantern seem
than
clean.
something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other lantern in existence.
How does that
Far
compete
stronger than
to
Hal, who
Simon?
can harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can
Okay,
Kyle
so he can
instantly
use
heal
them all?
wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead,
Oh,
the
yeah, they
white
said
light
that.
of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the
Oh,
Anti-Monitor.
damn,
Okay, so it's
Anti-Monitor?
not totally useless.
Okay.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion.
Ooh.
Kyle's greatest weakness was still
What is that, the Black
himself.
Lantern?
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns.
Oh.
And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once
Now
and
that's
for
how
all.
the
Not
White
bad
Lanterns
for
are
a comic
created.
book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Okay, Kyle.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No?
I remember that
that's
battle.
because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution.
Wait, what?
It's our own website. That's
How does that make sense?
www.deathbattle.gg. It's like our own private Patreon, with a store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg live right now.
Okay. I should go check that out too.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay, so after seeing all that, I think I'm gonna go Simon actually, cause I think I'm gonna go Simon on this one, cause Simon kind of seemed low-key crazy powerful, great, like crazy. So I'm gonna go Simon on this one. Let's see if I'm right.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Brink says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Or the create a boxer. There goes the digging drills. Okay.
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. Four.
And they took this to space quickly.
That's nothing. My drill will pierce the heavens. Take it to Gurren Lagann.
Hey, this battle looking crazy too. Oh, he's in the White Lantern phase. Is that Superman? Oh no, it's not Superman.
That's really cool. I'm a lantern.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
Damn.
No.
Now you know.
Actually, it might be actually the White Lantern, because didn't it say he couldn't die or something?
I'm Simone the Digger. If
I don't know.
in my way, I'll smash it down.
I'm still going to Simon. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, he's using all the lanterns now.
Stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simon that believes in you.
His willpower too strong.
Super taking Topa Gurren Lagann. My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens. Giga
Oh,
drill.
using that spiral power. Oh, okay. What are you about to do? They're making a drill of his own? Go and drill for drill. Who drills stronger? Infinity.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day,
Are they boxing now?
blackest night.
Oh!
No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power.
Oh, they going drill for drill again? Yo! Oh!
Grit those teeth.
Oh! He knocked him back into the Green Lantern.
You'd make a good lantern.
Ooh!
Simon of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Guess I was right.
For the guy with the
Damn, that was clean right there.
When both combatants possessed unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once.
They really went drill for drill.
Fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption.
I guess those drills are too strong.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's
guess it was Simone, right? Since he was able to get out of his mind control.
Willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle.
Yeah, so he got all that strong just because of willpower.
Regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
This is crazy. Like, I've never even heard of this before, but they low-key got some crazy things going on in this anime right here.
With the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could
they're
boost
battling for
Kyle's
24
power,
hours, aren't they?
He's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it.
Yeah.
It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset.
So if he was able to control it, he would have won the fight. That's what I'm saying. What you're saying.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself, writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater.
Damn.
Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Y'all agree with that?
What
we got next time. Okay, what the heck? What the heck type of fight is this, bro? Oh, this is about to go crazy.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more death.
Bro, what the heck? Coyote versus Tom the Cat? Hey, that battle wouldn't be crazy, but I'll probably give that to Tom the Cat. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out to y'all, and stay safe. See you in the next one.